Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I'm back after a couple of days off, and I hope you guys really enjoyed your New Year's celebration, whatever you were doing. I got a lot of positive comments on my Twitter page and on my YouTube video. So I wanted to thank you guys. Right now I'm taking a look at the Bitcoin price, and as we're seeing as of now, Bitcoin trading at about $47,400. So we have seen a little bit of up and down over the last few days, over the last week or so, but ultimately, as you guys are seeing here, Bitcoin is indeed holding that price here of about $46,000. We have not seen it form lower lows, so I'm still fairly confident that Bitcoin has a bit of a future in 2022, and that we're not going to necessarily see a bear market from here. I have a feeling we are still going to make new all-time highs. I mean, maybe not $100,000. However, when I throw this Fibonacci on here, you can see that, even the levels that we're seeing right now at this moment in time, this level here where I just put that horizontal line, the 2.618, we are just hovering around there as of now, and we haven't even completed the full Fibonacci cycle yet. We came up here once, over here in April, we came back up here, we based, came right back down to the 2.618, and now we're just kind of basing. So when are we going to get up to the 4.236? Is Bitcoin going to get up that high? Is the 3.618 the highest we're going to see Bitcoin go in this cycle? A lot of differing views on this. I mean, the other thing I wanted to point out that I have pointed out on this channel before, Bitcoin, this structure is not like anything we have ever seen at a top, right? Usually what we've seen at a top is that straight move up, a strong pullback, then the retrace to the 0.702, and then the slide downward. What we're seeing over here is something very, very different. It does look like a correction. It does look more like a correction than the signs of a top. However, there are some in the space saying that this is Bitcoin's top. Here's another one from 2013. Move up, strong move down, that retrace, and then of course the bear market. So some things to be paying attention to here. When I bring up XRP, guys, you can see XRP still hovering at the 84-85 cent level. This is a very, very critical level that we should be paying attention to very, very closely. The reason I say that too is because, take a look at this. So when I take the Fibonacci here, throw it on the XRP trend, okay? When it did reach that inter-year high of about $1.96, came right back down in the summer to about 50 cents. We have seen XRP really kind of hit these Fibonacci levels along the way, right? We've seen it in here, we've seen it in here, and now the 0.236. Well, if I zoom out on XRP, throw Fibonacci on this entire trend here, you can see the 0.236, very, very close on the macro trend to where we're seeing it on the micro trend. So it's falling within 2 cents of where we're seeing it on the micro trend. So something tells me that that level, very, very important to be paying attention to. Again, it does retrace here from April and May of 2018. Old resistance becomes new support, and we have not really seen XRP go below that. Okay, we still are seeing higher lows for XRP on the macro trend since March of 2020, so that's also a good sign. Other things to be paying attention to, other updates here with regards to the climate in the US. This from Michael at Val5 Links, compliments of XRP Marchese. So apparently FDIC Chairman Jelena McWilliams announced her resignation on Friday in an open letter addressed to President Biden, just weeks after she warned of a hostile takeover by the Democrats. So she is resigning. Here is the article from Fox News. And when I just go down here, this conflict isn't about bank mergers. If it were, board members would have been willing to work with me and the FDIC staff rather than attempt a hostile takeover of the FDIC internal processes, staff, and board agenda. So she didn't really cite much more than that. She is leaving, just to give you guys some context here on her position with regards to cryptocurrency. This was directly from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC website here. Remarks from Jelena McWilliams at Money 2020 back from October. Guys, if I go down here, she said, more recently, the U.S. has been a leader in the development of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and other cutting-edge technologies. But other countries, often not saddled with legacy systems such as ours, are moving forward at a breathtaking pace. Then she uses China as an example. She also mentions Kenya, and she talks about cross-border payments in China. For example, the value of mobile payment transactions is greater than the worldwide value of Visa and MasterCard transactions combined. In Kenya, 70% of adults who use mobile money, even if only 55% have a traditional bank account. So she's rattling off some statistics. In the rest of the world, the US can simply no longer take for granted that we will be at the forefront of technological advancement. We should not take for granted American exceptionalism. It has to be earned every single day. So very critical of the US government. And with regards to crypto assets, which brings me to crypto assets. As a regulator, my job is not to make predictions about the future of crypto. My job is to provide clear rules of the road to allow innovation to flourish while mitigating risks. If we fail to do this, we risk stifling innovation and forfeiting American leadership in developing world-changing technologies. Over the past several months, the FDIC has been engaging with the Federal Reserve and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency in what some have called a crypto sprint. Through this process, though, the agencies are coordinating policies for how and under what circumstances banks can engage in activities involving crypto assets. So you can see here, I will link this in the description if you guys want to read further, but you can see here her stance, very pro-cryptocurrency, very pro-technology. Now, unfortunately, she is saying that she is resigning, did so on December 31st. So a bit of a shakeup here. I also wanted to bring you guys this from Michael at Val5 Links with regards to the overall sentiment in the US and cryptocurrencies. And so Michael just posts this. We're going to see more turf wars across the federal government, and the agencies that I would look out for would be the SEC with Chairman Gary Gensler. This coming from Perry Ann Boring of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. She was interviewed here, and I'll link this in the description if you guys want to watch the YouTube interview. She says down here, from a regulatory side here in the US, we're going to see a lot of activity from the SEC that is going to impact how companies can operate in this space under the SEC's jurisdiction or not. There's still a number of vacancies across the federal government, and once you start seeing more people confirmed, particularly in those chair roles, you will start seeing other agencies start to assert the jurisdiction over the digital asset space. Therefore, we're going to see a lot more turf wars across federal government, and the agencies that I would look out for would be the SEC with Gensler, who has really been out front and center, continuing to try to expand the SEC's jurisdiction. So, some were saying this from before. SEC is in a turf war with other organizations like the CFTC, as I've mentioned in the past, and maybe even others. You'll start seeing some conversations about the CFPB, or the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the CFTC, and then you'll have very similar type conversations with the states as well. So, an interesting perspective here from Perry Ann Boring of the Chamber of Digital Commerce with regards to crypto's future in the US. Of course, we've got the Ripple and SEC lawsuit, and there's some important dates for that coming up. I wanted to mention this first, though, guys. Flare Finance just posted this for those of you guys who participated in the XFi airdrop. XFi is now in the process of going out to all holders who participated in the SGB snapshot. So let the fun begin, and they link a link here to the songbird-explorer.flare.network, and you guys can see these addresses. You guys can see the transactions occurring here in real time. So another couple just popped up right here. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. So if you have not received them yet, you will be getting them soon. XRP Crypto Wolf down here saying, shout out to Flare Finance for following through on their XFi airdrop for SGB holders and not messing it up like some XRP ledger projects. Anthony Berube down here saying, does anyone know if I will still be getting the airdrop? I had Songbird on MetaMask, so will it just appear in the Songbird account? And XRP_Crow just reiterating you need to add the XFi smart contract address to MetaMask. Follow the instructions below. And so he puts the instructions down here. And again, guys, I will link this tweet in the description for you. If you are interested in that, I don't know, I would assume the deadline may have passed though, and I guess it depends on when you're also watching this video. Nevertheless, it is down there, and I'm sure he has the dates in there for those of you guys who are still interested. So I'm going to continue with some more Ripple and XRP news. The review of international political economy notes only actors powerful enough to settle claims with commercial money, not banks, CLS, nor Ripple, are national settlement efforts. Seems like this would bode well for paycos like Ripple working with governments. And so he posts the direct link here from Routledge, Review of International Political Economy. And within this, he does post a screen grab in this tweet. The question of whether banks or tech companies can establish digital solutions to the provision of some inclusive global payment infrastructures remains unanswered. However, our research suggests that only powerful actors are able to build up enough trust to settle reciprocal claims with commercial bank money, or in the case of CLS and Ripple, with tokens they have created by themselves. The only possible alternative to powerful global companies, be it a club or major banks or big tech companies that maintain the infrastructure of global payments, is the nation states become more invested in the construction of settlement infrastructures, as we have seen in the few attempts of the establishment of interlinking two settling infrastructures by the central banks of two countries. So a great example there. Pay companies like Ripple working with governments. This is going to bode well for such companies. Evolution 47 down here, just making a note, based on the tone and the language in the excerpt, it would appear that Ripple's Escrow/ODL may provide a strong competitive advantage over other paycos, and I do not disagree. They have obviously set themselves up, connecting with these big governments and financial institutions, central banks, to have that network ready, in place, in order, so that once they do finally release the new Liquidity Hub 2022, which now we are in 2022, boy, how time flies. That's where we're really going to see big changes in the financial system. So anyway, wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. He also posted this other one, Ripple mentioned as enabling KFH to provide 24/7 services over the holidays. So this is from the Kuwaiti Times here. This was published back on New Year's Eve. So I'll link the PDF in the description, but I just wanted to highlight this point here. KFH has recently launched digital signature service in personal financing products through KFH mobile app or desktop from anywhere without having to visit the branch. Instant card issuance within 3 minutes. Live FX pricing, instant cross-border payment service at KFH Turkey using Ripple's technology, and digital wallet service through smart mobiles and watches, which provides advancement in smart digital payment methods according to highly developed security standards in cooperation with Samsung, Fitbit, and Garmin. So specifically highlighting cross-border payment services using Ripple's technology there. Obviously, this is how they are able to provide 24/7 service even over the holidays. So some interesting news there from the Kuwaiti Times, just reporting on that. The other thing I wanted to mention, the first was yesterday, and so more XRP has been released from the Escrow. 500 million XRP batches were released from Escrow in December, and then 800 million were returned. This means 200 million XRP were sold from Escrow in December of 2021. So Wrath of Kahneman just giving us some statistics from last month here, retweeting out XRP Escrow Bot's tweet here. 300 million XRP just locked back up in Escrow as part of Ripple's monthly escrow process. So another billion with 300 million being locked back up. That would mean 700 million in the ecosystem now. JK asking, how can that be if it is under court restrictions? And Wrath of Kahneman just explaining how the escrow is now working, even though Ripple is in court. Escrow sales have proceeded as programmed. If Ripple lost the case, it might only change who could buy XRP, but not if it could be sold. US exchanges have been fearful of the SEC's ambiguity. Somebody is still buying it though. And Jimbo just asking, that's more than usual, isn't it? It is. October, November, and December sold 200 million plus 100 million from the prior 6 months. The same pattern seemed true in 2020 as well. To be really precise, Ripple can also claim some of the released as well, but they disclose that in reports. Is it end of year finance or random? Just glad to see it leave the escrow. Guys, this is what's going to really get the XRPL moving. And seeing more XRP leaving the escrow, that definitely is a good sign. That means that more XRP is indeed needed for, all the different processes from all the different organizations that are using XRP. So that is good. Moses Hightower over here on Twitter, are you pointing out that in December 2021, only 200 million of XRP were sold from the escrow, but in January it was 700 million, like 3.5x. That is bullish. Wrath of Kahneman saying, not sure where the 700 million came from. In January 2021, only 100 million were not returned to escrow. Just noting 200 million were not returned this month, which on the surface seems like a nice uptick in sales. So he's just clarifying that, guys. I will link this tweet thread in the description, although it does sound here like if 300 million was just locked back up, if we do know that 1 billion is released each month, that 700 million would be in the ecosystem. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's how the math would work. Anyway, there has been an uptick. Great news here from the Wrath of Kahneman. Just wanted to touch real briefly on the XRP lawsuit. Of course, guys, it is a brand new year, 2022, and I think a lot of us in the XRP community are feeling very, very positive about this new year with regards to an altcoin rally. Of course, that could be spurred on by XRP clarity in the ecosystem. Well, Charles Gasparino saying, 2022 will likely be the year the biggest story in the crypto space unfolds. Ripple versus the SEC, win for Ripple. XRPL community will put limits on the SEC power over crypto. A government win and the commission's powers are enhanced to point it could even go after Ethereum. So we know a lot about the Ethereum story. Jeremy Hogan did recently do a video too, this from XRP Crypto Wolf. He is saying that, April is his best estimate. When he was asked the question, people are saying late 2022 for the case to finish. Could you please give your honest opinion on this, please? And realistically, when it will be over, this coming from Mike Fallon. And Jeremy Hogan says, April, my best estimate. I very much doubt that the Ripple case could be strung past summer, even in a worse case scenario. We have a big deadline date, guys, January 19th, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to be getting some answers there. And I also just wanted to mention this update, guys, this from Mojaloop. Yes, the same Mojaloop run by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Ripple partner Mojaloop just released a white paper talking about supporting hub operators. Well, guess who's releasing a liquidity hub in 2022 to deliver instant interoperable payments? Ripple Liquidity Hub is launching in 2022, plus, of course, the ISO 20022 standard. Mojaloop has some serious power on their board. This will be huge for XRP, and I do not doubt it for 1 second. Here are some screen grabs from that report. Support hub operators. We know this passed well. Ripple did just announce the Liquidity Hub. Mojaloop won for its solution for bridging the last mile, bringing cross-border payments to users in emerging market economies who rely on mobile money transfer systems. We've got this up here from Ripple again from back a couple months ago from November. Did you hear? We announced our plans for Ripple's Liquidity Hub, so this is just the announcement for that. Also, guys, look who's on the board of Mojaloop. The connections here. Konstantin Perik on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation board. Miller Abel, also part of the Bill and Melinda Gates board. We've got Adama Diallo, partnerships in Africa for Google's Next Billion Users initiative. And Kevin O'Neill, the director of data and technology at the Rockefeller Foundation. So some heavy hitting members here connected to the Mojaloop Foundation, which is indeed confirmed a Ripple partner. So Jimmy also just bringing us another screen grab here from the Mojaloop Foundation. Sponsor members including Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Coil, Google, Modus Box, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is also connected to Ripple. Ripple, of course, down here, and the Rockefeller Foundation. So if you guys for a second were doubting how deep this goes, I think it is very, very clear here. Liquidity Hub in 2022, a very important strategic move, I think, on Ripple's part. The Mojaloop Foundation also releasing a paper saying that they are now going to be supporting hub operators. Plus, of course, there is the ISO 20022 standard, which we know is going to make waves in the payment space. So is 2022 going to be the year? I have a feeling in the spec space, we are going to see XRP rise, but not only that, guys, the spec price is one thing. I mean, we get to $10 to $15 just based on spec alone. That would be great, wouldn't it? But the real world utility that is going to come down the pipe for XRP, I don't think many in the XRP can even wrap their heads around what kind of demand is even going to be surrounding XRP. Once that begins, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.